Hey guys, so I found a new trick yesterday in this room involving getting the bow early in Forest Temple. So in this room, there's two separate stalfos fights. There's one down here, you first fight to get this key. And then later on you go up through Forest Temple and you fight more stalfos up here, and you kill them to get the bow. Now because there's two different fights in this room, there's a separate trigger for the second fight. To start the second fight, you have to enter this room with a Y coordinate above 700. If you see that number in the bottom right there, that 827, that's my Y coordinate right now. So obviously this is above 700, so when you enter through either of these doors, the fight will start. But because normally, your first time entering, you start down here, you're nowhere near that number, so the fight does not start. And that's why you can't just hover up to start the fight early. So this new trick is a way to actually set your respawn coordinate high enough to actually trigger the fight. So what you first do is do entrance point glitch on this door. You crouch tab the door and equip hover boots while opening it, and this way the door doesn't close. It only closes if you get a certain distance away from it. Now when the door does close, it saves your coordinates and your facing position for your respawn point. So if you void out, when you respawn it'll use those coordinates for it. So now what you want to do is that you have entrance point glitch activated, you do a weird shot. And so it's important to do this weird shot on the left side of the door, not the right side of the door. I'm going to turn on collision view now. So I want to longshot these vines. So that blue part you see that I'm starting to aim towards, that's vines in the right outdoor courtyard. So I want to weird shot those vines to set my respawn coordinate as I'm hookshotting over there. So I'm going to hookshot it. And then as I'm flying over, right there is where my respawn coordinate gets set. So now it saves those coordinates, which is well above 700 for the Y position. And that'll be where I respawn when I void out. You can also see that the stalfos room is loaded. So what room gets loaded between the hallway and the stalfos room is dependent on your coordinates. If you're more towards one room than the other one, then it'll have that room loaded. That's why you need to do the weird shot on the left side of the door and not the right. The right side, you're closer to the vines, but it also means the path you take towards the vines will cause the coordinates you'll have on your path towards the vines will cause the hallway to load rather than the stalfos room to load. That's why you want to be on the left side so that the stalfos room stays loaded. Now once you're out here, you need to void out. So the original method for this was you would navigate blindly out of bounds towards the well and then clip out of bounds from the well. Turns out Blinny found out you can do a ground clip here, just do a short hover, drop a bomb, and pull out sword, and it'll clip you out of bounds and void out. So now when I respawn, I'll use those respawn coordinates from the entrance point glitch with the weird shot and land back in bounds. So now when I respawned there, my coordinate was high enough to trigger the fight. So I can turn off collision view now. So I'm going to look up here and show the stalfos. So that stalfos there means that the fight has been triggered. But obviously I kind of need to go up there to fight them. So you just start a hover from this chest. You need about 15 chus for this hover. It's a bit much, but it works. So this hover is a little bit scary because the stalfos will actually start attacking right now. And he can knock you out of the hover. A little bit scary, but should work out. And then once you're up here, totally normal fight. Nothing else special here. So as for how much time this might save, this is a bit of a lengthy setup. So in regular 100%, it might save time, but there's some issues with regarding getting a Skulltula that this trick would. This trick skips going through a room where a Skulltula is. You'd have to reroute in that gold Skulltula, and it also uses a lot of chus, which might be an issue. So it may or may not save time in 100%. In 100% no source requirement, which is the category I'm going to start running soon, it'll almost for sure save time, I think around 30 to 40 seconds, which will be nice, but not huge. Unfortunately, this trick does have a lot of restrictions and requirements with requiring longshot and requiring a lot of chus. It's a bit much, a lot of categories won't be able to do it, but at least we finally have some way to do this. We could never get the bow early before. We pretty much always needed to go around Forest Temple the somewhat normal way to get up to bow. hopefully in the future, better methods will be found that make this both faster and more doable for other categories, but at least we have this for now. So that's pretty cool. So thanks for watching.